They knew Gambino was the biggest crook in the country, and they kept his home under constant surveillance.
There was a marked police car parked in front, right in front, and on the door it said, Organized Crime Control Bureau. A marked police car with two plainclothesmen sitting in it. And this was the police department's way of saying, okay, you know, this is our harassment. You know, we're telling everybody, all your neighbors, who you are.
The end of the 60s marked the beginning of the decline in Gambino's fortunes. In 1969, a Gambino associate by the name of John Gotti and his brother Gene were caught hijacking a cargo truck at JFK Airport. The incident didn't disrupt family business for long, but it brought more unwelcome attention to the Godfather. A year later, Carlo was again in the spotlight. The boss was charged with masterminding an armed robbery.
They were holding up armored cars, Chase Manhattan armored cars, and he was actually arrested, indicted and arrested, and was supposed to go to trial.
Carlo and his attorneys succeeded in getting one delay after another. But the law was not Carlo's only worry. His wife, Catherine, had been diagnosed with cancer. In 1971, she died. Carlo's troubles were not over. Frustrated with delays in the armed robbery case, the government pushed to deport Gambino to Sicily as an illegal alien. But each time he was about to be sent back to Sicily, Carlo's heart troubles would conveniently get worse. When doctors finally gave feds the green light, Gambino's connections stepped in to save the day.
They were all set to deport him, and all of a sudden, word comes down blocking this. Gambino's people made a deal with two very powerful congressmen. And the deal was that they would be paid $1,000 a month for life if Gambino was allowed to stay here.
And Carlo was allowed to stay. But the years had taken a toll on him. As his heart weakened, he grew increasingly frail. On October 15, 1976, Carlo died of a heart attack while watching a New York Yankees game at his summer home on Long Island.
How he himself avoided being murdered is an astonishing mystery to me, because he had harmed so many tough mafia bosses, and yet no one ever laid a hand on him.
Carlo Gambino had successfully led the crime family for 20 years and left a criminal dynasty that would far outlive him, all without serving a single day in prison. His funeral was a spectacle, drawing mourners from all over New York and around the country.
My guess is there were thousands and thousands and thousands of people who walked through there and paid their respects. I mean, he was a legend.
After the death of the patriarch, the search for a new direction would carve a bloody trail through the Gambino crime family. Following the death of boss Carlo Gambino, there was strife within the crime family, strife which Carlo himself created. Just before his death, Carlo had picked a successor. In making this fateful decision about the future of his criminal empire, Carlo, like the mythical King Lear, set off a chain of events that would eventually bring the family down.